In a world searching for a light in the dark, there is only one two-man team with the balls to take you by the hand and lead you towards the light. That one team is RantWorthy Podcast. Welcome back, everybody. It's another Sunday. Happy New Year's. January 7, 2017. I am your host, Lee Powell, with my co-host, Ryan, the Keto Crusader, Schomber.
What's going on?
And we are casting the pods from a secret bunker in the heartland of America, Cincinnati, Ohio. First of all, let's get the business out of the way. Sponsors, Fighter Philosophy. Go to Etsy shop, put in Fighter Philosophy, pick up a sweet rash guard. It's too late to save your marriage now, but at least try to get your side piece on track. Get you a new rash guard. Send her over to fighterphilosophy.com or Etsy shop, Fighter Philosophy. Secondly, Keto Delivered. The curators of keto goodness. They find the best keto-friendly ingredients, condiments, snacks, and much, much more. Send them to your doorstep every month. KetoDelivered.com. Side note to that, we just got a brand new one, and I told Ryan, well, we just talked about the last month's one, and so let's wait on this one. But I swear, I'm not joking when I say this, the new one had these little bites in it called, what is it, Ryan?
I think it's a Lehigh Biltong. It's some kind of seasoned dried beef from
oh my gosh,
South African inspired.
I'm a supporter of Keto Delivered not only because they're a sponsored, but because they also send you so much shit every week that even if out of the 5 or 6 things that you get, even if you get 2 gems, 2 things that you go, from now on, I love this, you will get a couple staples that you never want to leave. Like, this is one of them.
Yeah.
I loved the bison bites that we had in the last, I'm serious, I loved them. But this is so good, it made eating those bison bites like I was combing the backyard for turds. Because the Lehigh, what is it?
Lehigh Biltong?
Lehigh Biltong, secret spice Biltong. And it's dried beef, and I guess it's made in a South African way. It describes it all on their website. I was reading through it and on the card that comes with Keto Delivered. If anything, Keto Delivered is great for keeping you on track, of course, but also introducing you to new companies. It says that they were established in 2015, so they're fairly new. It would probably take a long time for you to find somebody like this, and it's seriously incredible. We knocked this out, and the longer you chew on these things, the better it gets. It just releases more of the flavor. It's ridiculous. It's incredible tasting.
So, check it out.
Yeah, and so KetoDelivered.com, and definitely check out Lehigh Biltong as a side note.
All right, so new year, new year, new me.
Yeah.
So a big popular thing this week has been in the MMA world has been to kind of make our picks for the year, essentially.
Yeah, and I feel like it's another time where you get to kind of let your hair down. I feel like, we're always trying to write a show that goes over everything that's important. We're going over fights, breaking down what happened or what's going to happen, or the news and opinions and all these kind of things. And I wanted to kind of make it a tradition like a lot of people do, where they do their show and it goes over the year that was. Go over the high spots, go over the fun stuff. And because I listen to other people kind of give out little awards, and a bunch of them I'm surprised. So it's almost kind of fun to debate and talk, because I saw your list mildly. I don't have it memorized or anything, but I saw your list, and you have a couple different ones than I do. So it seems like everybody has slightly different opinions, and I thought it'd be fun to also throw our opinion on it too. So we'll go over I think it's 9 or 10 categories of the best of last year. We'll go over these and just hang out and talk some shit.
Sounds wonderful. All right, so let's start out with submission of the year. I'll go ahead.
It's got to be one of the easiest ones.
Yeah,
right?
for sure. If you're not picking Demetrius Johnson's crazy armbar versus Ray Borg, then I'm kind of wondering what it is that you're looking at here. So that was, to me, an easy pick for submission of the year.
Yeah, Demetrius Johnson. Not only, the thing is he also did that while breaking a record. You could skate into being at the top if you wanted to. He could just batter someone to a decision, but to be winning a fight pretty easily and then at the end toss someone in the air and from behind, like being around the belly, suplexing somebody, and then in midair start transitioning to an arm bar, and then the guy fighting it. It almost made it even better that he was fighting it, didn't want to be fit. This was not a person who was ready to lay down.
Yeah.
And then finished the arm bar. We've seen rare submissions. When Korean Zombie got Leonard Garcia back in the day and a twister. Like this last year, we saw a calf slicer. Things that are fairly rare. That's cool, but I feel like his submission was the unthinkable. We never thought of this happening.
When you teach class, you always say the same things. I'm going to give you practical submissions, and then I'm going to give you ones that give you style points.
Right.
That is a style point submission right there. So
yeah, I'm going to give you I'm going to give you the beginner version, and then I'm going to give you. Because the beginner version is going to have most people aren't going to. This is the person who does everything wrong. And the day one kind of guy, you're going to do this on them. And then the second one is this person's more educated and probably never going to give you the first thing, and this is how you submit them. And then the third thing is this just looks really fucking cool. And that's what he did. That's what I love.
Every class, that's literally how you break it down. I'm going to give you the basics, then I'll give you one that's a little bit more advanced, and then style points.
Yeah, it's very important. You need style points. I remember Jeff Glover did an interview a long time ago, and that was his thing. He's like, I wanted to be the person at a tournament where everybody was sitting in the stands and they'd want to look over and go, holy shit, what is that guy doing? And that's how I feel the exact same.
Yeah.
When I heard him say that, I was like, yes, I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
So undeniable. I mean, that was probably the best submission of all time. So it's even harder,
Yeah, absolutely.
We got a couple categories like that, interestingly, where there's some all-time things that happened this year. That's what's kind of weird about this year. Though it may have been slow, there's a couple gigantic highlights to where it almost overshadowed the fact that it was a slow year.
Right.
But Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson, of course, submission of the year, no doubt.
Yeah, for sure. So next category we're going to do is going to be knockout of the year.
Yeah.
There are a lot of options out there for this, and maybe it's just kind of sitting fresh in my brain, but it is hard for me to top the Francis Ngannou uppercut from hell, basically. I mean, it came up out of the floor, and Overeem his head snapped back like a cartoon and hit the ground, and that, to me, that's just absolutely disgusting.
Well, it only seems even worse now if you see the new 220 trailer for Francis Ngannou versus Stipe Miocic, where they showed Overeem with like his eyes open, staring at the ceiling. That's a part of the trailer of them fighting, and it made it look worse.
Yeah,
it made it look even more. The thing about last year was, the year started off with Mike Perry knocking out Jake Ellenberger.
Yeah.
Remember that? And
we
were like, we talked about it on the show, which is even weirder. That's how long the show's been around. Because we talked about that last year. When Mike Perry knocked out Jake Ellenberger, we were like, this is already going to be a contender for next year, for the end of the year, be a knockout of the year. When he was in the clinch, came out and elbowed him, and he fell like the Saddam Hussein statue. I mean, it just falls right. It was crazy. Look, that was a bad knockout. And then you also had the flying knee from Edson Barbosa against Beneil Dariush.
Dude, that fight was crazy.
That was a pretty nasty one. But then another nasty one was the Raging Al, which people didn't really talk about this one. I was looking at other people's lists, comparing. Everyone pretty much had a lot of the same stuff. But people didn't have Raging Al knocking out Diego Sanchez.
Oh, that's true.
That was
I forgot about that.
Really bad.
Yeah.
That was the original one. Diego ended up getting knocked out by Matt Brown, which another bad one. But Raging Al folded him up like a lawn chair too, and that was pretty bad. But I agree with you. Absolutely. Knockout of the year, Francis Ngannou, the knockout of Alistair Overeem. Because it was insane. It was the rock'em sock'em rope. Like his neck got longer. He got taller by getting uppercutted like that. It was terrifying.
I almost like the fact that there's no style points on that. It makes it better.
Yeah, and it looks scarier,
dude. It's so terrifying.
Yeah, and in his African voice, he sounds terrifying. It's just I'm going to put you to sleep. And he's scary.
Yes, he is.
He's scary.
All right, so Breakthrough Fighter of the Year. I'm interested to see what you have for this one, because I assume it's probably different.
Okay.
So my Breakthrough Fighter of the Year was Brian Ortega.
I don't hate this pick. I really, really don't. I don't agree.
Okay.
But I don't mean that in a bad way.
No,
I'm saying I didn't pick that. but I absolutely can see where that could be a pick.
So he only had 2 fights this year, but
Yeah.
both of them were fight of the night, and he's coming off of a crazy 2016 as well. But he had a guillotine submission versus Moicano, and then really kind of skyrocketed himself into the rankings there, and really put himself in the title mix with the guillotine choke against Cub Swanson. And with that last win, I really feel like he made himself a household name, and I like the way he carries himself, and I feel like he is kind of a star that is just about to explode.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. That is a very good one. Brian Ortega is a good pick, especially for breakthrough fighter. So my thing is, for me, it was a 2-dog race. It was going to be Volkan Ozdemir.
That was the big pick this year. That's what most people.
Or it was going to be Darren Till.
I thought about him. I considered him. I looked at him for a little bit.
It's interesting. So with Darren Till, they're two different things. In the matter of a year, Ozdemir went from unknown, no one knows who the hell this guy is, to beating OSP, to knocking out Misha Serkinov, to knocking out Jimmy Manawa, and now at the beginning of January, he's going to be fighting DC for the championship. That is, to me, the definition of breakthrough. So I almost look at like the distance covered. Unknown to fighting for a title in January in a matter of a year. That's kind of like who got breakthrough last year? Cody Garbrandt, really, right? Because he went unranked to holding the title. Pretty much Volkan could do the exact same thing. The only thing that made it a 2-dog race for me, though, was I don't feel like Volkan's height can be as great as even an Ortega, or even if he wins. I don't think he can be as big as Ortega can be, and I don't think he can be as big as Darren Till can be. Well, that's what's kind of crazy, is because I think Darren Till has a much higher ceiling of popularity. I think Brian Ortega has a much higher ceiling of popularity ability. I mean, I feel like they could be gigantic. Both of those guys could be huge. But if I'm looking at the criteria in my mind of breakthrough fighter, guy that we had no idea was coming, because in another way, I feel like Brian Ortega's kind of been on the radar. It's kind of another reason why I can't pick Francis Ngannou, because Francis kind of been on the radar for a little while. Brian Ortega has been undefeated for a little while. Darren Till he has the star power, but being that he's been off for a little while now, it's been about 5 months or so, I feel like it's kind of died down. If he would have went right into another fight, like say Mike Perry would have won, I think he'd be even hotter right now. So I'm almost going over distance traveled, as breakthrough. So to me, Volkan Ozdemir gets breakthrough fighter of the year for me.
Yeah, there's definitely something to be said about charisma too. Like you have to throw that in there, and
that's kind of what Brian Ortega has, a little bit of that too. That's why I really see Brian Ortega. I feel like this is a good split probably between Brian Ortega and Volkan.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about comeback fighter of the year.
I love that I didn't know yours, and now that I know it, because I looked at the screen and I know he's picking right now on this next one, I happen to write something in the beginning of mine that shit talks your pick.
I love it.
This is awesome.
All right,
go ahead.
So to me, I mean, with the comeback,
this can be interpreted different ways, right?
Yeah. So
comeback fighter of the year.
But when I kind of think about it as the, hey, I was gone for a long extended period of time, and now I'm back.
Okay.
And to me, for GSP, even though he got a little help to go to come be gone for as long as he was, and as much as we hated him coming back, to come back and beat Michael Bisping for the title in the way he did, I think makes him comeback fighter of the year. What do you got?
That's ridiculous.
Okay.
GSP is a ridiculous pick.
Yeah.
What is comeback fighter of the year,
Well, he was gone. And then he came back.
That is the most literal sense of the rule. Like, that could be... You're right. He is the comeback fighter of the year because he was gone and he came back. I guess out of the 2 people that could have been considered in that, like Nurmagomedov and GSP, gone a little while and came back.
Yeah.
Well, GSP won that race. To me, comeback is like, this is a guy that was on a slump. This is a person that we counted out. This is a guy that we forgot about. He was in the dumps. He once was high up. Now he's gone. and he came back. It's the comeback. It's the Undertaker award. He was buried. He was in the coffin, and poof, he's coming back up again. To me, there's no way in this world it doesn't go to the man last year who we all were forgetting about. He lost 2 fights right after he was on top of the throne. RDA. Rafael dos Anjos last year got beat for the title in the middle of the summer by Eddie Alvarez, and everyone goes, holy shit, and then fights Tony Ferguson and gets his ass kicked on a 2-fight losing streak after killing everybody for so long, and then he makes a change. It goes to 170, and then beats the shit out of Tarek Safadine, beats the shit out of Neil Magny, and then fucks up Robbie Lawler in a 5-round fight where he just gruelingly beats his ass for 5 rounds. The comeback fighter of the year is Rafael dos Anjos.
I will tell you, I almost went with Verdum on that as well.
Really?
Yeah. After because
Stipe fucked him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to come back and be where he was.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was too. So that was my other one. But when I was thinking about it, I was like, all right, if we're talking comeback fight of the year, he only lost 1 fight, for God's sake. So, but okay. So next one I feel like is also an easy one. You might disagree, but I think that's the upset of the year is Rose Namajunas by far. Yeah, I mean, that seems to me to be the easiest pick.
Of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely. The upset of the year, Rose Namajunas over Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Of course. Because think about this. When you're looking at last year, who is the 2 most dominant champions? DJ and Joanna. They're the only people with multiple title defenses at the time. And DJ didn't lose and had a great one, and Joanna was out there. We almost felt everyone was counting Rose out of this fight. No one saw this coming. Everyone was like, she may have a trick shot. You know, could she pull guard and maybe catch an armbar on someone who's not as good at her at jiu-jitsu? It's possible, I guess. We were all throwing out, there is the sub maybe thing that could happen, but that's not what happened. She went in there and fucked up Joanna so bad.
Yeah.
Landing those left hooks and knocks her out, and Joanna taps from strikes. She can say that she didn't, but we all saw it.
Yeah.
She makes her tap from strikes. That to knock her out and make it look as easy as she did was unbelievable, unthought of, and unequivocally the upset of the year. There
are people in this world who are cut from a different mold and are beautiful human beings, and I feel like Rose Namajunas is just like is all of that. And to me, I got emotional after she won that, because she's so open about the issues she's had in life, and then talks about her relationship with Pat Barry, and she's so open, and then to go into that fight, be heavy underdog, take the trash talk that she was taking. Joanna was getting in her face, and she just stood tall the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, the stare downs leading up to that fight were insane, and then to finish it with that, I mean, that was one of my favorite moments in MMA, period.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
To
that's
me,
something you can never take away from her.
To me, that's
we'll always remember that.
It's like Shogun beating Lyoto Machida.
Yep.
After losing a close decision in the first fight.
Yeah, a ripoff.
And then Rose Namajunas. I mean, that's basically it. Those are my top 2 moments, I think, in MMA history. It's incredible.
No, that's a big one.
Yeah. So that was absolutely my favorite moment of 2017. I will watch that card over and over again.
Oh yeah, and that goes right into the next one.
Yeah. So event of the year. Easily UFC 217. I mean, probably the best, like we said, the best fight card ever.
What an unbelievable card, though.
Yeah.
The thing about that card, UFC 217, is when you look at a card beforehand and you say, wow, what a stacked card, because that does happen, where you look at it ahead of time, you go, this has everything you want. This has everything you need. Because and Ryan's pulling up the card now, but when you pull up the card, I remember, if you just go down to the bottom, so we had so much to go over in this. You had heavyweight contenders, but then you have the Randy Brown versus Mickey Gall, right? And I think on some people, to the purists, this is kind of fun for us because we watch all the shit. The contender series is what Randy Brown is coming off of, and then Mickey Gall is coming off of Dana White's looking for a fight thing. So it's like the 2 people come off of the UFC shows fighting each other. That was kind of fun beforehand. To see Ovince St. Preux fighting again was just kind of like seeing another 205er out there. That'd be fun. James Vick and Joseph Duffy are kind of 2 guys that are incredibly good, but both on the bubble. You know, they kind of every once in a while they lose the big fights. Though James Vick has only had like a crack or two at it. It's definitely time for him to get another crack. But those two are very good lightweights who, for some reason, are not always in the talk of the top 10 guys when clearly they both deserve to be there. That was a great one. Then Paulo Costa and a fight against Johnny Hendricks that we knew, oh gosh, this is going to be a slaughtering. And then you have two of the best 170-pounders in the world, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Jorge Masvidal, and then Rose Namajunas versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk, which was going to be what we thought one of the easier fights on the card. TJ Dillashaw versus Cody Garbrandt. I mean, come on. That was the like rivalry of rivalries.
Yes.
Outside of John Jones versus DC, no more heat between two people in the last, I don't know how long. I mean, it's probably been 10 years since we've seen heat like this.
Yeah.
When Tito Ortiz was fighting Chuck Liddell, you know what I mean, back at like UFC 47.
Yeah.
That's what this felt like. That was some real animosity. So we knew that. And then the comeback of George St. Pierre fighting, the comeback of the year of George St. Pierre fighting Michael Bisping for the title. It's just on paper, this card looked like so much fun. And then for it to deliver, I mean, on an epic level, right? And so out of 11 fights, 8 of the fights end with finishes. That already is pretty crazy.
And the decisions were good,
Yeah.
fun decisions.
Right.
I mean, we got to see, like the Randy Brown fight that you were talking about, and then Stephen Wonderboy Thompson,
Yeah.
we saw that
The chess match of
he's
those
still
two guys.
for real.
Right.
He's, we still have to take him seriously. He's not falling off. He's still there. He's still a contender.
Well, and then what you end up hitting, though, is you get to watch the murdering of Johnny Hendricks by Paulo Costa, who is just a fine-looking gentleman. And then you get to see the chess match that was Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Jorge Masvidal. But then you hit like an hour and 20 minutes of the best, I don't even know how to put it, the best showing of what MMA can be,
Yep.
right, and for the next 3 fights. Because you get to see an upset that is crazy. This isn't a decision. This isn't like they just squeaked by. This was an absolute slaughtering of a champion who's been around for a while with Joanna, the only champion. The second champion of that weight class after she murdered Carla Esparza. And to watch her get dethroned in the way she did was crazy. To watch TJ Dillashaw and Cody Garbrandt finally go at it, and Cody Garbrandt doing really well in the first round, rocking TJ Dillashaw.
I thought TJ was done.
At the end of the first round, it looked like, oh man, this is going to slowly just turn into Cody's fight, and he's going to finish him. They're yelling at him in the corner like, we got your number, TJ. You're done. And then for TJ to then come back, head kick him, and eventually knock out Cody Garbrandt, that was insane. And then GSP, though at the time we were kind of done with this fight, almost annoyed by the fight, it overperformed tenfold, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we ended up really enjoying the fight, and it was fun. It was good to watch him get out there and get dirty. He was kind of the old GSP, the one who took chances, who wanted to actually get his hands dirty a little more, and that was fun to watch. And is the comeback of the year? No. So UFC 217 was just, it was an amazing card. And what can you say about those last 3 fights?
Yeah.
I mean, you watch those last 3, and the tough part about this is, and it's different about how things age, if you can remember what you felt beforehand going in this fight card, we were so hype about this fight card, and it came through so epically. Like, if you're watching this 5 years from now and you're a new fan and you happen to watch it, it might just be like, okay, there were some finishes, but before this, the steam that was going in of Joanna just killing everybody, just doing so well and outclassing a lot of people, and Rose seemingly going against the unbeatable champion, and then, like I said, the rivalry, the comeback of GSP, it was just, man, what a card. It was so cool.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. Definitely.
And then followed up by a card that was great too. 218 kind of was a perfect way to finish it. Really, if you watch those 2 cards back to back, you'll be very happy.
That's all you need to remember from 2017, pretty much. I mean, that'll take care of it right there. So
yeah, it was great. So that was event of the year.
all right, so fight of the year pick for this would be Eddie.
It's kind of tough. I feel like there was a couple in there.
Yeah, for me it was Eddie Alvarez versus Justin Gaethje. That
Explain
was a
that.
great fight.
Yeah.
So very back and forth. We have the up-and-coming star of Justin Gaethje, and then we have Eddie Alvarez, who's kind of been up and down for a little while, and really just a very back-and-forth fight. Justin Gaethje is blowing Eddie's legs up in the first round. I didn't think he was going to be able to walk, and then you see Eddie start to find himself in the fight and really just start to pick Justin Gaethje apart, but Gaethje stood in there and really just took an absolute beating. How he stood for as long as he did is absolutely insane. But they promise, it's kind of like the same thing as they promised the hype before the fight. They really sold it at the fight, and then after, they delivered on the fight, and then afterwards,
right,
both of them are happy with what happened.
That's
like
true,
Justin Gaethje, to me,
that was one of the rare fights that were sold as, no, this is going to be violent. This is going to be two guys just going at it. We're going to give everybody what they want, and it was exactly that.
Yeah, absolutely. And so to me, like both those guys at the afterwards, it just goes to show like Justin Gaethje is one of those guys. I love how afterwards he was talking about, he's like, not everybody wants to go out there and cares about CTE and things like that. He was like, I want to go out there and swing for the fences every time.
Right.
And I absolutely love that. So when he's saying, I'm glad that fight went the way it did because it was a war, to me that's like, dude, you are a different human being. And so to me, this is the fight right there. And it made me much bigger fans of both these guys. I liked both of them beforehand, but I liked both of them even more after that fight. I thought it was a lot of fun.
So for me, it was between two different fights, different ones than you, oddly enough. But I have the two that it was going to be between was the Luis Smoka versus Cowboy Oliveira.
Yeah, that was an amazing fight.
That was so ridiculous. That was the swings in that fight are so crazy of the up and downs. But there were, I had to really nitpick. I rewatched all these fights to really say, okay, this is my winner kind of thing. And then my other one was going to be Justin Gaethje versus Michael Johnson.
Yeah, that was a great fight.
Which is also so ridiculous. And I ended up actually going with the double champion, Justin Gaethje and Michael Johnson. So he actually wins 2 awards for 2 different fights.
It just goes to show with him, though. It's just like when you are bringing...
have 2 Fighter of the Year contentions in the same year. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're bringing it right there. So absolutely amazing.
I picked Justin Gaethje also because if you versus Michael Johnson, because if you watch that fight, there are times that Michael Johnson cracks Justin Gaethje and he like folds to the side where it looks like his equilibrium is gone. He's so close to just falling, and he like whips himself back up.
He's got like the Chris Lieben
You're
going
like,
on.
how is he stand? It looks unbelievable that he's standing, and then somehow we'll turn it right back around. Yeah. And Michael Johnson is throwing everything at him, and he'll crack him. But then Justin Gaethje took over for a while. I mean, like for 2.5, 3 minutes, he takes over and just has Michael Johnson on the ropes. He's beating him, and then gets cracked again and almost gets knocked out at the end of the round, and then start off the next round. Justin Gaethje's taking over for a while, beating Michael Johnson up, and then he gets cracked again, and then he's almost getting finished, and then he cracks Michael Johnson back, and then he's almost out, and then he starts landing knees, and eventually Michael Johnson kind of falls to his back, and you're like, oh no, he's really hurt. He gets back up and gets kneed, and by like the 3rd knee, he falls down, and they stop the fight. And then remember, how is a guy that is putting that much output out there and so tired, almost getting knocked out, and then remember he got on top of the cage 3 times in a row so that he could do the backflip off of it. I mean, it was just so crazy. And then throw in the caveat that was his UFC debut. I don't know if anybody has debuted like that. Anderson Silva versus Chris Lieben back in the day was a big one, but I don't think many people knew about him coming from Pride as much as people were kind of looking forward to Justin Gaethje. He was talking a lot of crazy shit ahead of time. People knew he was coming in to want to be. I mean, remember he was advertising himself as, I'm coming to the UFC. I'm coming in and I want to be the most violent lightweight in the world, and everyone was just kind of like turning their head like, what the fuck that guy is saying? Like no one could believe it, and he's done nothing but pull through. I mean, in another way, he could damn near have been talked about as a breakthrough fighter of the year. I mean, in terms of not being known and being known, his is huge this year, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So for the next one, I know we'll both agree on this one.
Mm-hmm.
The next one, because the last Academy Awards, right?
You have to save best
event of the year, fight of the year, and then you got grappler of the year, and then fighter of the year.
Okay.
Right. So, Grappler of the Year award
Gordon Ryan
is 100% Gordon Ryan.
Yeah, you can't not give it to him. I mean,
It's one of the craziest years that you could probably ever have. I mean, I just don't know what else you could do. I would love to look at people's records and see, like it's like the amount of world champions, the amount of ADCC vets, the names that he's beat, like the legends. Because you could look back and see when guys win ADCC and go, yeah, of course they beat a lot of big names. But sometimes you'll be in a bracket where maybe 2-3 guys aren't some all-time guys. They're kind of scrubs.
Yeah.
The scrubs of those guys. I'm not saying that anybody in ADCC is a scrub, but there are differences. Choking out Hamalo Bahal from the back is not the same as like someone beating Frank Trigg.
Yeah.
Yeah. eight years ago when Frank Trigg was there. You know what I mean? Or Chris Weidman was out there and he got flying armbarred. Though he's a big fighter now, that's when Andre Galvao beat him. It's cool, but it's not that nuts.
Yeah.
The people he's beaten this year, it was Metamoris. It was 2 EBI belts, an ADCC gold, an ADCC silver in the absolutes, choking out Hamalo Bahal, beating Sanji, choking out Keenan Cornelius, beating Craig Jones, triangling Halleck Gracie, heel hooking Cyborg Abreu.
Yeah.
What the heck? Cyborg has won the absolutes.
Yeah.
At ADCC. He's a double gold champion at ADCC. To heel hook him, he heel hooked Joe Bays this year. He beat Wagner Hocha this year. It's one of the craziest years in grappling history for a guy, and much respect to Gordon Ryan.
Well, and with the other thing is too, we got one of the greatest grappling matches of all time with him with Craig Jones.
Definitely the most entertaining. In a long time.
Yeah, that was incredible.
That was
an incredible match. I've watched that multiple times since then, and it's just it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the back and forth between them, and then the mutual respect at the end and stuff, it was awesome. So that's an easy pick for me. That should be very simple. So Gordon Ryan, definitely grappler of the year.
Definitely.
All right.
Definitely.
So last category here we'll go to is fighter of the year. For my pick, although he only had 2 fights this year.
That's all you need.
The 2 fights that he had, one with Wilson Hayes, which was just an unbelievable performance, and then the Ray Borg fight. To me, with him tying and breaking the record this year, DJ is 100% the fighter of the year for me. He is just unbelievable, and to me, this year really just cemented how good he is, and it's crazy to me.
He's definitely fighter of the year.
Yeah.
Granted, you didn't have some of the big champions out there. You didn't have the John Joneses. You didn't have the Conor McGregors, and that's not taken down on what he's doing. But DJ with the 2 title defenses this year, 2 armbar submissions, and one being on a black belt who's been around a long time, to just beat him up and outclass him and then armbar him from the mount. Ridiculous. On top of that, breaking the record for the consecutive title defenses, now making it 11, hitting the craziest sub that anybody has ever seen. Probably going to be one of the. I don't know what beats that. What could ever beat that at submission wise? That might end up being the best submission ever, the craziest submission ever, the most unthought of submission ever. To do all that while being the top in the world, and to me being the GOAT on top of that. 100%, it's the year of the mouse, the year of the Johnson, Mighty Mouse Johnson.
All right, so let's move on to some fight news, some things that are going on. So let's talk about Dana White meeting the young girl whose life he saved.
Yeah, have you seen this?
Yeah, I was reading through this story. I was reading through the story this morning, and it's really cool. So essentially, Dana White was in Thailand and met up with Mike Schwick, who introduced him to a young girl. Was it?
No. So actually, what ended up happening was a couple years ago, I think it was a post on the Underground. I'm almost positive.
Okay.
There was a post on the Underground of, there was like a dad, and he was pleading. I just remember reading it at some point. I'm almost positive it was
he's the one who set up the meeting after
with
the
girl, because Mike Swick lives in Thailand currently, and the little girl lived in Thailand. But a father was on somewhere, pleading that he needed $50,000 to help give his daughter this surgery. I think she needed a liver replacement or something.
Yeah.
And it was going to cost $50,000. And he pretty much, a guy went on there talking shit, saying, Dana White, you're rich and you need to do this, and was kind of really forceful with it. And it clicked with Dana. And the way he says it is like, the guy was kind of talking the way I would talk, and it really got my attention. And I said, you know what? I just need to do this. And it said that she needed this within the next 2 weeks, otherwise she was going to die, and it was $50,000. Dana White pulled the trigger, sent the $50,000, and she ended up getting the surgery, and she survived. And now I think it's been 5 years later, and Dana White happened to go out to Thailand. Mike Swick is currently out there, so he was kind of the liaison between those two. He set up the meeting, and Dana White got to meet the young girl whose life he saved, and took a picture with her where he's like holding her up in the air. And it's just, what a crazy story. It's really awesome.
Yeah, it sounds like he's planning to fly her out and her family out to Vegas here soon too, and that they're going to wants to continue a relationship with her. So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that is cool.
You know, when people who have the money to do things like that, are able to do that, I think that's you've actually talked to me about this before in the past, that once you get to the point where you have the money, there are times when there are the things that are the right thing to do, and using that's really what life is all about.
Oh, it really is. Yep.
And so
I ain't got money like that, but that's got to feel incredible.
Yeah,
I can only imagine, especially when it's people's lives that you can or started restarted because of you. That's got to just feel crazy. I mean, that's just got to feel crazy.
Yeah. So
great story.
Good on him. Dana has his ups and downs in the media, but there's no doubt that he is 100% himself and seems like a good guy. So.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about. I'm
so glad this finally came out.
Yeah, we had we discussed the Jean Claude Van Damme, Cody Garbrandt thing, and now finally a video has come out. I've watched this a couple times, and
I can't wait to hear what you have to say about this.
So it's interesting because there are some people who online don't see why it's a big deal. And I've seen in the comments where they're like, well, he didn't touch him that big. It didn't seem like that big a deal. Yeah. He didn't touch him that much. But the problem is when you see what's going on here and it's playful and this and that, you can see that Jean-Claude is trying to present himself in a certain way.
Oh, yeah.
And if you've been in a gym before with any martial art, you kind of know what's going on here. And it's like, things go from being playful to like this in-between gray area where it's not anymore.
Yeah.
And that's what happens here. So
and it is stopped right now. Can I give a slight point right here of look where Cody's hands are.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Yeah.
Nice defense. I mean, his knuckles are about at his chin and his fingers are going up to about like level with his eye to where the person can only kick you right in the top of the head. But also, that's kind of how TJ Dillashaw caught you. So you might want to raise your hands just a little bit.
There you go. All right, so let's watch this video.
Okay, let's see. We got coked up Jean Claude Van Damme with a towel hanging down to his knees off the front. Oh, okay. Here it comes. Oh. Okay, here it goes again. Yeah, you can tell Jean Claude's being real playful, but right here, I swear it looks like he wants to kick him in the face. And that's Jean Claude saying "fuck."
Yeah.
I gotta admit though, it's tough to hate on Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah,
it's tough because I really like the guy. He's an Ohio boy, and I'm a supporter. But I gotta admit, for all the bitching that came out of this, that was one of the lightest things I've ever seen in my goddamn life.
Yeah.
I mean, it said that it kicked him in the mouth. I don't know if it is a grainy video or what. I mean, it ain't the best video. It looks like it was filmed with a potato. And it does not look awesome. But I gotta admit, it looks like it smacks him in the eyebrow. I mean, and it's the bottom of his foot, like his toes in a way. It's come on. To bitch about that, if Jean-Claude smacked me in the face like that, I'd be like, thank you. Can I have another?
So I think part of the problem is that you can tell that he's like continues to pressure him up against the cage.
Yeah.
Like it's like even when Cody goes to throw like the spinning back kick, he is stepping into him to the point that he's not like participating in it anymore. And then I will say I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt on the like I understand that if you like like even if you get accidentally hit in the mouth and your teeth like bite your lip,
Yeah. Tell me about it.
It sucks. I know, and it's one. I know. I accidentally hit him in the face this week.
Yeah, Ryan kneed me in the mouth this week and put a hole in my fucking lip.
Yeah,
it has hurt to eat for the last 4 days.
So
FYI,
I can understand.
You Jean Claude'd me.
I can understand the frustration from biting your lip or your tongue or things like that, but to talk about it on a podcast afterwards seems a little
come
ridiculous.
on, look at this. I mean, I think that it maybe was just kind of a cool story.
Yeah.
Like they just want to put out a fun story. But once the video comes out, now that I heard a 20-minute conversation talking about this incident, it almost is a little too crazy. Really? I mean, it wasn't that bad.
Do you think it has to do with Cody trying to present himself and keep a certain reputation?
I think that he's a guy that is, we all know these kind of people, and we talked about it just the other day. Some people are just high strung, and I think carry a certain perception at all times, and he does come off slightly as a guy who wants to never look weak.
Yeah.
Ever. I mean, at any cost, can't look weak. And I wonder if he felt like this kind of broke that a little bit. Does this make me look stupid? But when I'm watching it, I honestly didn't see the big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, little things happen like this all the time. This is also the problem that when you go in there with a guy that is almost a fake martial artist.
Yeah.
Steven Seagal, all these people, they lull you into these kind of scenarios where you're playing around, you're going like they give you this. It's the false sense of security thing, right? And bad training partners will do that to you that are higher ups. It's like if someone goes with you and they're going half speed, like if I was rolling with you, right, and you feel that I'm going slow, right, like, oh, I'm being really open and flowy, so you're being open and flowy, and then I take advantage of us being open and flowy to now all of a sudden fucking smash you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it's. You took advantage of, like, you're considered higher up than me. So when you're sitting here going at me like we're flow rolling, and you meet me at the same speed, and all of a sudden I'm rolling like I'm at the worlds against you. It's just rude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I almost feel like that's what Jean Claude, that's what these people do. They get you to slow down, to start going half speed, and then in the middle of that, they take advantage and they'll crack you with one. They're going to pop you in the nose. They're going to kick you in the lips. They're going to pull on your leg and try to hurt your knee. They're going to do something slightly sketchy.
Yeah.
Where you're like, really? Like, if we're going to really go, let's just go. Don't try to get me to, like, put down my defenses and then take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So that's what this kind of did remind me of it. To me, it was less severe than it was just a sketchy martial artist doing sketchy shit.
Yeah.
Like if I was them, I would have talked more about that, about these kind of weird martial artists, that, like, air quotes, martial artists, rather than the actual hit. Like when he says, like, crack me right in the mouth. I mean, well, watching the video, he almost looks a little bit like a pussy.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
Yeah, it is not a good look for him, that is for sure. All right, so let's move on to the next topic here.
Yeah,
so,
could we gain any more respect?
Yeah, so
for this guy,
Robbie Lawler had a torn ACL and meniscus in the RDA fight in the third round.
How crazy!
What I mean to me,
caused by RDA.
Yeah,
FYI.
But when people, I mean, it is. I tell you, I got so frustrated with. To me, it's like a when somebody doesn't know what it's like to be taken to deep water and feel like you're drowning and you're just trying to survive, because when at a certain point it becomes survival is almost a win. You change your mentality, and when surviving is just becomes what you want to do. And with him, he can't stand on his leg and he's laying against the cage just trying to survive the fight. And then you have people who want to talk shit about the fact that he's laying on the cage. That just drives me insane. The guy has one leg and has the balls to stand in there and continue to try and fight. That is tougher than anything that most people will do in their lives. So to run your mouth and say, it's the same thing with people who are like, why does he keep dropping his hands? Why does he keep dropping his hands with different fighters as well? It's like, do you know what it's like to be so tired that you literally can't pull your arms up anymore? Because when it gets to that point, you're just standing in there trying to survive.
Right.
And for Robbie, he's such a warrior that it's like, I'm going to stand in here and take this beating because I am not willing to take, throwing in the towel or giving up. And he's not that guy. I mean, so much respect for him.
Well, and we've also seen him be the hammer on so many occasions, just giving out beatings to people, legendary beatings to people. And it's almost interesting to see he can also be the nail in an epic way. I mean, there's a lot of guys that are, think of all the guys, Rumble Johnson or even a Bob Sapp, different guys that can beat people up, but when they start getting pressured back, they usually fold. And he's obviously not that kind of guy. He's one of the rare instances that can be the hammer in an epic way, and then as the nail, he's as tough as they come, and he tries to stay in there as long as possible because I think he believes in his power and his tenacity on an epic level, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he knows he carries that throughout the fifth round and the energy, but it almost also makes a little bit more sense where we were waiting for when is Robbie going to finally turn it back on, because we were thinking it was going to maybe let RDA kind of burn himself out first and second round, and then he might start pouring it on in the third round. He seemed like he still wasn't doing it, and same in the fourth and fifth. And it almost makes a little bit more sense now when you have a knee that jacked up. He clearly knew something was wrong and had to be in survival mode. It made sense that he never really went for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So fantastic, just kind of getting that information there. And it just, like you said, it gives you more respect for Robbie as a fighter. And I mean, it's no secret that both of us are huge fans of him anyway. I mean, he is one of my favorite fights of all time is him with, Rory McDonald. So it's like,
that's one of my favorite fights forever.
I mean, he could lose every fight for the rest of his career and it wouldn't matter at this point.
Me neither.
All right, so let's move on to the next piece of news. Miesha Tate has announced that she is pregnant.
Hey, yo. Dude, read her post. Her post is so great. It is so weird.
All right, so...
Have you read this yet?
I have not.
Prepare for the weirdest post.
Okay. Happy New Year, everyone. 2016 and 2017 were crazy years full of transitions for me, but I'm so happy where I'm at now moving into 2018. I have many things to be grateful for, but one stands out in particular. You see there's this man who has brought joy and happiness into my life in a way I've never known before. Johnny, thank you for that. I'm proud to announce we are expecting a beautiful baby girl. Now you can sit and speculate, or you can just be happy for us. I'd like to ask that everyone respect the fact, like we have been, we would like to continue to live our private lives primarily out of the media. I won't comment on specifics, so just know that I am very happy, very excited, and my life has never felt so complete. Thank you for all the continued support on this crazy journey we call life.
What the hell? Go back down. How weird is that?
Yeah, that's very weird.
Now you can sit and speculate or just be happy for us.
What
in the world does that mean?
You are a mega star. Why do you need to feel the need to explain to anyone what's going on in your life?
But I just, why would you put that in a public thing? Like you're calling everything into question.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was that I was looking at the other day. Some hugely popular post, and I remember I was reading it, and it had 200 and something comments. By the time this snapshot was taken, there was already 3,500 comments, and I'm sure it's nothing but people speculating because she said, now you can sit and speculate. I just thought that was the weirdest thing ever to say that because what we're all speculating about. It made me speculate. I got to wonder, like, how is Brian Caraway? I got to wonder, like, that poor guy has got to be torn up right now.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, my God. He spent years putting in time with that woman, trying to be with her, and we always looked at him like, oh my God, I cannot believe she's with this dude.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense at all. And
he seems like the most boring human being on the
and
planet.
then they like break up 9 months ago or some shit, and then this guy gets in there and boom, she's pregnant. He's got to be so fucking angry right now. It's got to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like, I put in all this time just for her to have a kid with somebody else. Jesus.
Look at this guy, too.
He's a fighter. I think he was on The Ultimate Fighter, yeah. Oh, my God. And I think she was like his coach or something. Maybe that's the part that they're like trying to say, or you could speculate, like maybe she was like cheating with him or something.
Let me just say this. Okay, then. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever makes you happy.
It's very interesting.
then that's what makes you happy.
Poor
I guess.
Caraway. He's got to be kicking himself. He's bummed.
He'll figure it out.
Jesus.
He'll figure it out.
Poor guy.
He'll find some boring librarian to start.
To make more boring.
All right. Are you ready to get the party started?
Go. Go.
Go.
You know who's not partying?
Yeah.
Brian Caraway.
I got to take my gloves off for this next part. It's gonna suck. I need hands for all the
What are you doing?
media.
Push-ups?
Andrew WK coming in hot.
The loser of the week is Brian Caraway, right? I mean, my God.
Loser of the year.
Yeah, there's the 10th award. I think we did 9 awards. The guy who fell short of the year, Brian Caraway. He might have been trying for years. He's just like he's throwing away her birth control, just nonstop.
He's like midway through, and he's like, "Just let me go.
Whoa!
Just let me do it."
Well, come on, baby. Let's have a baby. We've been together for 20 years.
No.
Please. And
I'm not ready. I'm
as
not
soon as
ready.
they break up, boom, pregnant. I'm so happy. God damn it. Poor guy. Son of a bitch. Okay.
You know when people though when people are the type of people that post those things like that though, it always makes you wonder what's going on in the background.
Yeah, public post about happy relationships and be happy for something's going on there.
Yep.
He might be smacking her around. People need to keep an eye on that relationship. There's something going on there.
Okay, so let's step into. So we have an amazing trailer this week. I am so excited.
Yeah, this
for
looks like one of the coolest shows ever made.
Yeah, so the trailer this week is for The End of the Fucking World. It is a Netflix show that is coming out.
Of course. Is anything not Netflix?
I'm James. I'm 17, and I'm pretty sure I'm a psychopath. When I was 9, I put my hand in a deep fat fryer. I wanted to make myself feel something. School was beneath me, but it was a good place for observation and selection. I had a
For
plan.
sure.
I was going to kill someone. Hey,
I've seen you skating. You're pretty shit.
fuck off.
Working all day with my mind on fire. I can't stop thinking of you.
I kind of think I could fall in love with him.
I thought she could be interesting to kill, so I pretended to fall in love with her.
Walking all day with my feet on.
This is nice.
What is?
I thought probably he was gay.
Your dad's a prick. Let's leave this shithole town. I'm going whether you come with me or not. You in?
It looks like a Coen Brothers film.
Yes, it does.
I punched my dad in the face and stole his car, and that felt like a good place to start.
We can literally do anything.
Do you want to go on a date?
I will have a banana split and an extra fucking spoon.
Sorry, that's it, right? Marvin! Oh yeah, see if Marvin can make a banana split for me, you fucking... Bye, Marvin!
Seemed that Alyssa had some issues.
Keep on running.
I feel safe.
He looks so dejected.
Being with Alyssa had started to make me feel things. I didn't like it at all.
Have you ever eaten a pussy before?
Whoa.
You don't register the important moments as they happen.
This is
You
R-rated,
see that they
kids.
were important when you look back.
Seatbelt?
Fuck seatbelts. Take your top off.
I think I'm stuck. Do you think it's
Wrecks
going to
the car.
explode?
It's not a film.
I might be able to fix it. We can't just leave it here.
Do you reckon you can still fix it?
Why is no one stopping?
Probably because you've got your tits out.
I love that he covers his pecs.
Do you want a lift?
Come on.
I am going to be so fucked off if we get murdered.
I think this is going to be the cult classic. Like, this is going to be the next Stranger Things.
Dude, it looks so good.
It looks awesome.
I'm so
I
excited.
cannot. If you're going to watch that trailer, watch trailer 2.
Yeah, that
is the one. It's 2 minutes and 47 seconds long. It's way better.
I mean, outside the trailer already includes one of the best car crashes I've ever seen. I mean,
Yeah.
The Big Lebowski and this—that's pretty much it. So
It
there you go.
looks incredible.
So-
And it's really soon, though. January 5th? Isn't that what it said?
Yeah, that already happened.
Today's the 7th.
You can watch it.
I should be watching it right now.
That's
hell
what
am I
watched it
doing
today.
here?
So there you go.
I'm
So
outta here.
Let's move into
See you later.
some questions.
You know how to keep me here. Just play the beeps.
What do you mean? When you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no. What do you mean? Hey, yeah. When you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go. What do you mean?
I love that fan. Where can I buy that? What? All right.
The fan makes its return.
Questions.
All right, let's move to some questions. All right, so we have the Golden Globes coming up tonight.
Okay.
Fun fact about me.
I will have to watch them.
Okay, so fun fact about me, I love to do prop bets for the award shows.
What?
I really do.
Really?
Yep.
I did not know this.
Every single year, I print off a prop bet, and I typically find people that exist on the internet who want to do a prop bet with me, and we will fill it out. The hilarious part is what you know about me is I barely watch movies ever, so normally I'm just guessing.
Yeah, so you have no idea.
I just watch the trailers and I say, well, that looks cool, and then I guess winners based off of that.
There we go.
So. Normally for the Academy Awards and the Golden Globes, I do a prop bet sheet, and there's all kinds of fun stuff on there, like what color fucking tie will this person be wearing, and stupid shit like that.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's so fun.
Oh my
dude.
gosh.
I do them for the Super Bowl too.
That's funny.
So, what is the difference between the Academy Awards and the Golden Globes?
I feel like the Golden Globes is like the party version of the Academy Awards, right? I mean, it's kind of set up like a wedding, where they're round tables, lots of beer. Or champagne.
Yes.
I feel like it is the party version of the Academy Awards.
Yeah, so there's that. So the Globe recognizes TV as well as movies.
Yeah.
So that's a big portion of it.
Right.
So we have that. And then, oh my God, this picture just popped up and scared the shit out of me. All right, so then we have, obviously, a big portion of this is going to be who chooses who the awards are based on. So the people who choose for this is the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, which is much smaller than the Academy itself, but it does have a better, it does acknowledge foreign press more than the Academy Awards.
Yeah, from journalists from 55 different countries.
Yeah, so we have different people voting on that. And then, like you said, at the Globes, nominees and attendees sit at circular tables and drink lots of champagne. So it's you are 100% right. It's more like the party version of the Golden Globes. So
go back up to the top. It said Amy Poehler said something there.
Yeah. Only at the Golden Globes do the beautiful people of film rub shoulders with the rat-faced people of television.
That's a way better description.
That was a quote from her in 2013.
Nice. I like that.
So there you go. So Golden Globes are on tonight. I believe it starts at 8 or 9. So if you would like to do a prop bet with me and you listen to this before the end of the day, message me and we will figure it out.
My wife will force me to watch this.
Dude, I love award shows. It's so funny. All right, so let's move on to the next question. Where does Dave Chappelle live?
Dayton.
Yes, he does. Yellow Springs, Ohio. Around here, I feel like pretty much everybody knows that.
Yeah, because we're really close.
Yeah.
To that area, I should say. I'm not really close to Dave Chappelle. We're like really close, me and him.
So I wanted to touch base on this because obviously he just came out with a new Netflix special, which I did watch, and I thought the first episode was fantastic.
Oh, man, it's so good.
The second episode had its moments, but wasn't as good.
It seems more of a fuck-off kind of session now on the second one.
But it was fun.
Yeah.
So what I thought was interesting about this, so we have a satellite image of this person's of Dave Chappelle's house.
Yeah.
Which, let me tell you how creepy it is that there's a website out there called Virtual Globetrotting.
Yeah.
That literally just takes pictures.
So not cool with this.
Takes pictures of celebrities' houses.
Yeah.
So very strange. But what I found is interesting.
We're staring at his house right now.
Okay, so it's Dave Chappelle. We know how big this guy is.
Dude, I know. I was so blown away by this.
Yeah, so his house is a 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, and it's only 3,100 square feet.
Dead serious. I'm looking at houses right now that are the exact same square footage and 4 bedrooms.
Does that
He's not the most modest person around?
That is so strange to me.
Crazy.
So I mean,
he's living so modest. I I was dumbfounded by this.
Yes.
Like, this must be a guy who's just keeping money around, like, just in bags in his house and in his walls. How much money does this guy have if you're buying a house like that in an area like that? I mean, I'm sure he didn't have to pay that much for that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a lot of acres, and if you creepily look around on the satellite view, you'll notice he is covered by like forest.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, all over. It is crazy. You can't get to him. It's a gigantic driveway also. But I really thought that he'd be living crazier than that.
He didn't even build the house. It was built before him. It was built in '89. He built that he just
so
moved
wild.
in. So very strange, but it's kind of cool. Like, it makes you wonder, like, if he's more into just like, I'll save my money to do cool shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Probably
I'll
flying here,
Yeah.
doing stuff like that.
just do whatever he wants.
I felt like in a way, I kind of see myself in him. I
Yeah.
like the modesty. I always have this conversation with people at my work where people are like, oh, no, if you were rich, you'd act the same way whenever we're talking about somebody like that. And I always tell people, like, even in my greatest fantasy, if I win $100 million, I can't imagine needing a house in our area that is more than $400,000.
Absolutely.
I just can't. I don't need anything more than that, because at one point it's going to be a pain in the ass to take care of it. Like, I'd rather have more money to be able to maybe hire somebody to come in and clean my. I'm rich now.
Yeah.
Rather than buying a $10 million house that I have to keep clean and upkept, and the electric bill and water bill. I mean, all the shit that would go into it. The amount of money I feel like you'd be throwing away on expensive shit. To me, it's get the $400,000 house. If you're going to get crazy cars and all that, to me, it's like, I just want like a $40,000, like a really nice Porsche or something.
I'm 100% with
that's
you.
about as much as I want. I don't need the Lamborghini. I don't need the Mercedes SUV Jeep looking thing that's like $200,000. I don't need all that shit. I just want the top of the level of shit that's practical for me personally. Give me a $400,000 house in my area, which would be probably like a 5-bedroom, but you'd have, 4,000 or 5,000 square feet with a decent yard. That is already probably too big for me. I just need a 3-car garage to where I can park my wife's car in the garage and have a 2-car garage to set up like a gym, so I can have mats and work out and do all that stuff out there. I'll park my car outside like a normal person. I don't need all that. So when I see how he's living, I was kind of like, I couldn't help but go, man, I'd probably be the same way.
He has, I mean, to be fair, he does own a couple properties, but he's also mega rich.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so to like the fact that he's owning a house that's, to me, the fact that it's 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath just blew me away.
Well, and look at where he is. It isn't like he's close to something. He's
Yeah.
not in some like normal area. He's in like some Amish town with some super not Amish town, you know what I mean?
Well,
But
it's
like
a
bunch
hippie
of-
town.
Yeah, it's like an old school hippie town.
Yeah.
A bunch of people. No one's really. It's a lot of older people, a lot of retired people. There's no young people really around there. It's an interesting way of doing things. I would have thought that he would be a guy in the Hollywood Hills living in a $10 million house, because I would think that would be quite easy for him.
Yeah, for sure.
It is-
Absolutely.
it's crazy to see how modest he was. I was really surprised.
Yeah,
I really was.
I loved it. So, all right. So next question: why is my car shaking?
I always feel like shaking of a car always means it's unbalanced, right? I mean,
Yeah.
because back in the day, I don't think it's like this anymore, but I remember when I was trying to pinch pennies when I was poor as shit, and you would get your tires changed, and you didn't have to, back in the day, I don't think it's like this anymore, you didn't have to pay for it to get balanced.
Right.
Like, you could get your tires done and not get it balanced and save $50.
Yeah.
And when money matters, you'll cut all the corners you can, even if it does shake your wheel until your hands go numb. But nowadays, I think like when you do tires, I think it comes like automatically with a balance, and it's worked into the price.
Yeah, I think most of the time. I'm pretty sure that I just bought tires, and I'm pretty sure they were balanced.
That's
for
what
free.
I thought car shaking always equaled.
Yeah. So what happens is especially in areas where we have lots and lots of snow. If you're driving over fresh snow, it'll pack into your tires, and then as you park, a lot of times that packed snow will continue to freeze because we obviously have some melting underneath from driving on the tires itself. And so when you go to drive, your car is going to shake because you literally have lumps of snow that are on your tires. So as it starts to melt and goes away, it will your car will go back to normal.
So it's the
It'll
winter
stop
that
shaking.
caused that.
You would not believe.
Go down a little bit.
You would not believe how many news stories were online. Oh my God! You would not believe how many news stories are online about people's cars shaking due to snow being on the tires.
Huh.
It's crazy.
I love that in this article, there's a car that is absolutely frozen up past the wheels. Though there's looks like water or something has gone over the tire, and then the whole ground is frozen. But I love that the person who parked it took the extra precaution of pulling the windshield wipers away from the windows, from the windshield, saying like, I don't want these freezing to the windshield.
Yeah.
But now his car is an ice cube that is going to be stuck there for probably weeks. He's like, damn it, I didn't think about that part.
So we'll post the links to these stories in the comments on our
That's
post,
really
and you'll
funny.
be able to see it. This is for that picture he's talking about is in Boston Harbor. It flooded and then froze over. So literally, this person's car is halfway up, frozen in just complete water.
But
So,
he doesn't have to worry about his wipers being attached to his windshield.
yes,
So-
what a great move.
So at least he got that. Not a total loser.
All right, so next question is, how does Tinder work?
I have no idea.
All right, so I have a nice little video here on how Tinder works, so we can get an expert analysis.
Okay.
Now let's get started. So what exactly is Tinder?
I like that somebody made a video
Tinder
to
is
explain
a
this.
mobile dating app. It links to your Facebook account, so you don't have to type in tons of information when you create your profile.
Don't want that.
Don't worry, making a Tinder account does not allow them to post anything on your Facebook profile.
Yeah, so if you want to be
For sure.
anonymous and not let people know you're on
After creating
Tinder,
your Tinder profile, you will be presented with potential matches based on your information. On each profile presented to you, you can swipe right to like them or
Okay.
swipe left to ignore them.
Got it.
If you and one of your suggested matches both like each other's profile, you'll be able to send messages to each other. Tinder is popular because it allows more time for actual communication rather
How
than
so,
making you
though?
look through lots of information and answer relationship-related questions.
Get at it. Stop
Think of
this real
Tinder
quick.
as online speed dating.
Popular because it allows more time for actual communication.
yeah, because there's no profile for you to sort through. You just have to swipe through. So
go ahead.
if you're physically attracted to each other and you match based on physical attraction, then you can just be like, what up, girl?
Yeah,
right
you're
immediately.
Ready. You're ready. I love that. More time for communication, though you're not putting in any communication. Like when it comes to the profile, like it takes what's on your profile page from Facebook, which is what?
Yeah.
Like 26, working at this place in Ohio. What do you write on your Facebook?
Yeah.
You're not ready to get matched up with somebody with that
Yeah.
information. I love that they're selling Tinder like it's legit to find a relationship when we all know exactly what it's for. I have the perfect analogy for this, right?
Okay.
So there's this TV show that I watched recently, and I'm ashamed of it, but it's I think it's called the Real Housewives of New Jersey, right? And I was watching this with my wife, and there is a lesbian woman on there named Rosie.
Okay.
She's awesome. I always tell Carly that's like she's my spirit animal because she's really sweet, but when she gets angry, she gets really wild. So I like Rosie. So she goes to this gay bar, and at the gay bar, I feel like only a gay bar would do this. You go into this gay bar and you have to wear a wristband, but you choose your wristband. They have like this little placard sitting there at an angle, and it has different color wristbands, and you pick your wristband. So you can say you wear this one wristband that says looking. Seems pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
And then this wristband says taken. So I guess you're just there, drinking and hanging out, I guess.
Yeah.
And then another one that says bi curious. And then another wristband that says DTF. It's just that straight up. Just DTF. I'm just down to fuck. I'm here for one reason and one reason only.
I love the honesty
I'm
there.
scanning for that purple band that says DTF, and we're like, and I just, you'd raise your eyebrows and kind of like kick them off to the left to the bathroom. You're like, hey, you wanna? And you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And so when I look at the different wristbands, I compare them to like this website. Why are we pretending that Tinder is not just the wristband of down to fuck?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's all Tinder is. Like, I feel like the bands are all these things, right?
Yeah.
So the looking band, that's Match.com.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like, I'm looking. I'm legitimately looking,
You
trying
have-
to find a good person.
you have to pay money for that. So
Exactly.
you are invested in it.
The Taken wristband is Ashley Madison. I am actually taken, but I'm looking to cheat. I'm taken. And then DTF, the down to fuck wristband, the purple wristband, that's Tinder.
That's perfect.
Let's call it like we see it.
I think,
Allows time for communication. Get the hell out of here.
I think that I don't need to watch the rest of this video. That'll just do it for me. Right
I'll
there.
educate you.
All right, so there's your lesson of the day on Tinder and how it works. So
I didn't understand it before, but I get it now.
Brought to you by Lee Powell. All right, so next question. What is the name of the Bruno Mars song with Cardi B?
Oh, God.
All right, so Bruno Mars this week put out a remix of his song Finesse with Cardi B, who we all know you're a huge fan of.
Oh, jeez.
So we're going to take a listen to that.
Okay. Oh, shit. It's in living color.
Drop top Porsche, rollie on my wrist, diamonds up and down my chain. Cardi B straight stunning, can't tell me nothing. Bossed up and I changed the game. It's my big bronze boogie, got all them girls shook. My big fat ass got all them boys cooked. Went from dollar bills, now we popping rubber bands. Bruno sang to me while I do my money dance like, hey. Flexing on the gram like, hey. Hit that Lil Jon, okay.
Did you ever see that show, Living Single?
No.
This reminds me of the opening of that show. I like his attire, though.
Yeah.
The vibe of this video is sick. It is very, like, 94. I think I had that exact same shirt. It's when it was okay to wear a green shirt that has vertical stripes of yellow and purple.
Very 90s.
People would look at you now like, what the hell is this guy doing?
This guy looks like me at a wedding.
Oh, shit. All right, shut up.
So thoughts?
I'm going to say something that's going to probably surprise you, but let me explain, all right?
Okay.
This is my favorite performance of Cardi B's ever.
Okay. Explain.
Because it was only 20 seconds long. I can't stand her.
Dude.
I feel like I'm on Cardi B overload.
It's crazy to me.
And have you seen her on these on talk shows?
No.
I'm not going to say anything else. Just please, just go watch it.
Okay.
It's you can almost. It is hard to understand her. I mean, she plays it up so hard.
She's like extra on purpose.
Oh man, she's so, it's on a new level.
I love
but
it.
I gotta admit, this is I do like the vibe of the song. I really do.
The video is really cool.
The video is really cool. The vibe of it with the video makes total sense. But outside of that, it is a vicious assault on my eardrums.
You know, people are so excited about this.
People right now love to. This is how they always are, right? If you're at the top of the game, they want to see you fall. If you're the person that's like annoying, it's like they almost want to push you to the top.
Yeah.
I'm so confused on how the trends go. They want people like this to do well because I think they like how ridiculous she is.
Yeah.
I think they prefer that.
Welcome to 2018. There you go.
Here we are.
All right. I picked this next question specifically for you. So, is Kevin Gates in prison?
Unfortunately.
So
he's on hiatus of putting out the best rap music in the world.
So, well, let me make your day here.
Okay.
So this time next week when we are filming the show, Kevin Gates will be released from prison.
No way. Next week.
He will be out.
Yes.
Next week.
I had no idea. Wow, he's lost a lot of weight.
He will be a free man on Wednesday, January 10th.
Dang. That is an early birthday present for me.
There you go.
My birthday's the 15th, January 10th. My birthday comes early.
There you go. Kevin Gates.
My man, Kevin Gates, getting out. The amount of things he's motivated me through. My God. Whether it be a tournament, whether it be me having to work my ass off all day, this guy's music, oh my gosh. It's so underrated.
He released a mixtape while in prison, apparently.
Of course.
So
C Murder did it.
He is on top of it. So what I wanted
doing it over the phone. Like, will you take a call? A call from the state prison of Kevin Gates. Turn my headphones up.
There you go.
It's on the phone. Oh, I love it.
So what I wanted to play was a song that you turned me on to.
Yeah.
This is your Before a Tournament song here.
100%.
And really is it's just one of those songs that motivates the hell out of you.
It pumps the self-confidence too, though.
Yeah.
Gets you talking about yourself. No, I got a lot going on, but I'm not here to fuck around. I don't care. I can have 15 things to do, 6 jobs. I don't get tired.
Well, when you have a day where you're not feeling very productive, throw this song on, and guaranteed you're gonna want to get your ass off the couch and go do something.
Oh,
so let's listen to this.
I was trying to get it how I live.
He even talks about failure in this.
Yeah.
Like I love it. Like he wears it on his sleeve. Talking about going to the award and he gets no awards and he doesn't give a shit. He's just gonna grind harder.
Yeah.
I love that.
Full-time artist, ex-guard, he said grind harder, learn from every time you ever fail. If it never failed, just grind smarter. Iron sharpen, you the dag on they hindquarters and they all acting. Rap game, I'm a pallbearer. Kill man, get a call after. First look, it was all laughter. Kevin Gates, no small matter, made men believe when they didn't believe. Dive in the crowd, no safety holders. Got in the booth, no safety on it. I aim and I shoot for the stars. Got the award, I ain't win no awards. Only meaning one thing, don't get tired, I go hard. I was trying to get it how I live. I want them dead presidents. I want to pull up, head spin, get it, get fly. I got 6 jobs, I don't get tired.
Oh, I love it, man.
Dude, it's so tough.
God damn, it's so good. I feel like everybody listens to music that they can identify with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love listening to this song because I have a lot of shit going on. Like with my work life, I'm always trying to do better, raise the bar amongst my own employees, amongst my peers, to even the higher ups, on top of the podcast, on top of jiu-jitsu, on top of teaching jiu-jitsu. I have a wife and a kid and I always feel like I got a million things going on. And when I listen to that, it's almost the mentality of like DC of embracing the grind.
Yep.
It's like, yeah, you got a lot going on. You're pushing through a lot, but you're almost like, I like dealing with all the hard shit. And even when it's tough, like I don't even give a shit. I love that fucking song, man. I love it.
It's like,
so good.
It's the difference between the mentally tough and the mentally weak.
Yeah.
It's like, I will take everything that's going on in the life and still keep progressing forward and keep pushing to achieve my dreams.
I legitimately thought about getting I Don't Get Tired tattooed on me.
You should.
I dead serious have thought about it.
Dude, you should. I think that's amazing.
I've thought about it. I was going to get it in between my fingers.
Yeah.
You know, like the in between the things so you can read it. I was going to put that on my hand so I could see that every day.
I love it.
Just embrace the grind. I love it.
All right, so next question. Who founded the NBA?
I had no idea why this is on here.
So this week, there was some interesting things going on in the world of Google. This is why I love the internet, because when people go on to pages like, this is a little tidbit here for the younger people out there. Yeah, this is why you don't use Wikipedia as a source for a paper, because according to the internet this week on Tuesday, LeVar Ball, who has been in the news a ton, was founded the NBA. So
wait, so he didn't?
So as of this week, when somebody changed it on the Wikipedia page, obviously Ball is the father of Lonzo Ball of the Los Angeles Lakers. He has 2 kids who were going to UCLA, but now they're going to play overseas. And he has also been in the news for his Big Baller brand, basically, which might be the worst clothing that exists on the planet.
Isn't it interesting, though? This guy, I mean, has shoved himself in the limelight. I mean, he purposefully put himself out there, was loud in everyone's face, and there's no denying he made everybody know his damn name.
I hope somebody is paying this guy, because he's got to take advantage for his moment in the sun.
I hope him being known by everybody is at least making him money.
Yeah.
Like, because to be this popular and not be making money, that'd be a real shame.
Yeah.
That'd be a real shame.
So, all right. So next question that we want to move on to, I can't wait to hear your thoughts on this, because it's very strange. Who is Weight Watchers' newest ambassador?
I have absolutely no clue.
Okay, so Weight Watchers announced this week that their newest ambassador is DJ Khaled.
No way.
And he gets a welcome from Oprah. So if you didn't know, I believe Oprah is...
This is like making Biggie Smalls thin. You can't do this.
I'm so glad we're on the same page. So Oprah, I think, is at least... I think she might be... she's like a partial owner of Weight Watchers, or maybe like the majority owner. But is it just not strange that... So apparently what DJ Khaled is going to do...
This is like smacking God in the face.
He's going to track his points through Weight Watchers and then become... Like, he's going to basically track his progress through there. But I want to watch this video here, because it's pretty funny based on what they're saying here. I want you to watch his reaction when he's trying to track his points at the end of this. So it'll go through the introduction. Oh, we got an ad here. Hold on. That was my fault. But basically what happens is that he's going to... it goes through like the conversation he has with Oprah via Twitter, and then there's a short clip at the end of this where he's talking to his personal chef about the points that he has for this, and it is so funny, dude.
Okay.
He seems so confused.
Watchers has a new social media ambassador, and it's none other than DJ Khaled. Oprah, who owns 10% of Weight Watchers
10%,
and
okay.
has maintained a 40-pound weight loss on the program, made the announcement on Twitter, saying, DJ Khaled, welcome to WW Freestyle. Can't wait to see you bless up this program. Followed by the obvious fist bump emoji.
Obvious.
He then shared a picture of her tweet with his own reply. Happy New Year, Oprah. Let's win more. God is the greatest. We the best.
I love how he
Bless
put "we
up."
the best" in there.
Aw, he didn't fist bump her back. He has already shared videos of himself using the program, which he loves. Of course, it's easier for him with a private chef to cook the food and calculate his points.
10 points. So I'm gonna act like I don't know how to do math. How many points I got for the whole day now after I eat this? You got 30 points.
Khaled can eat cookies while on the program.
She seems so annoyed. He was like, I'm going to act like I can't do math. How many points I got? She was like, you have 34 points. She seems so pissed that he's... As if he even needs to worry about it. All he would have to do is just say, hey, make sure I don't go over my points. And she's just going to cook for him all day. I can't imagine...
Someone needs to be paying her on the side to keep him fat.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden it comes out looking like Prince Nassim, I'll be super pissed. Do you remember who he was? He was a fighter back in the day that would dance. He was I think he was an Arabic fella, and he was an incredible fighter. But Prince Nassim, he was the guy that would dance in the ring and then throw punches. It was so awesome.
That's amazing.
He's one of the coolest fighters ever. But he looked like a stick figure. He was so small. That's what DJ Khaled will look like if he's skinny. If all of a sudden he looks like that, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm finished. I will never listen to him again. He is a big, jolly, fat guy.
Yeah, he needs that. That's his persona.
I mean, he looks like a guy, like...
We the best music!
There it is. It's like when he is sitting with his shirt open, belly out, with like a cigar kind of thing. He's that guy.
Yeah, you have to have that. I don't know what I would think if you were just like wearing a small shirt or something like that.
Biggie's out there like, I'm giving the best raps. I'm watching my calories. You'd be like, what?
Yeah.
The fuck did you just say?
I'm doing Weight Watchers.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Doing Weight Watchers
Stop
is
it.
the least gangster thing that you can do.
Yeah, no, yeah. You can't do it. It was all the dream.
Then I got Weight Watchers.
Yeah. Decaf and heavy whipping cream.
All right, so I wanted to end on a really cool clip. I feel like you're gonna really enjoy this. So I need to set it up a little bit beforehand.
Okay.
So the question itself is, who is Shaquem Griffin?
Okay.
So I know you don't watch much college football, so I kind of want to...
Yeah, can't do it.
Yeah, so I want to set you up on this. So
Too much ball for me.
Shaquem Griffin is a linebacker who plays for UCF.
Okay.
And so the big thing this year is that so UCF finished the year undefeated. Okay.
Yeah.
So the problem is that UCF doesn't.
What division are they in?
They don't play in a Power 5 conference.
Okay.
I think.
Gotcha.
I want to say I don't remember what conference.
That's good enough. That's what I was just wondering if they were in one of the big.
Exactly.
Guys.
So they're not in a Power 5. So they didn't play the schedule that most teams would.
Yeah.
And because of that, they didn't get any respect from the national polls or from the playoff committee.
Gotcha.
But when they went into a bowl game, they played Auburn.
Oh, okay.
And they beat Auburn 34-27, and the game really was never close. So what's important about this is So UCF wins this game. Auburn beat Georgia and Alabama, who are playing for the national championship. So because of this,
which is all kind of a racket on how they do this, right? I mean, you got to sort of explain that for the uninformed. The way that they kind of pick who's going to the national championship and things like that, a lot of time it's based on who's going to get the most viewers, who's the most popular. You could be like this, undefeated, and they might not pick you just because you're not going to get eyeballs on the game. So it's mildly crooked.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
It really is. It's not a tournament fashion like the NFL. This is like, who's going to watch this the most? And it's people can't complain too much. We'll pick those two teams.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. So
Auburn beat the two people that are in the national championship, and that's who UCF plays.
Yes.
And then they beat them too.
Yes,
so
they
they
did.
go undefeated and then beat Auburn in their bowl game.
Yes.
Wow. That's pretty huge, though. They should have that doesn't make sense.
I know.
They should have played another game. It's almost like you should have UCF then play the winner of what they consider the national championship game. I'd want to see that game.
It would be one thing.
That'd be the ultimate Cinderella
I
story,
know.
right? Like watching the unranked team. It's like when you watch March Madness and you have the last ranked team, the Cinderella team, make it to the Final Four. That kind of becomes the fun of it. If you never give those instances a chance, it's almost, that would just be a lot of fun.
What's interesting too is so you have the FBS, which is the top tier of college football. So, and they are the only team in the FBS who went undefeated.
Wow.
So it's kind of it's interesting. It would be one thing if there were a couple undefeated teams, and that's what we were trying to figure out. But it's one team, so that's the big argument there. So to kind of, we'll wrap it into the actual question. But one of the pieces of news this week is that UCF's athletic director Danny White said on Wednesday that the program has decided to claim a national championship and will place a championship banner inside their stadium and to recognize its undefeated 2017 season.
Damn.
They're literally going to have a parade to celebrate this, which I think is
that's awesome.
Fantastic. It's like a middle finger to the college football world. They're going to do that with the NCAA and say, you know what? You want to snub us, and we know it's an obvious money grab, so we're going to do it anyway, and you can just deal with it. And that's the way we're going to do it.
That's awesome.
So it's pretty cool. So we have a car alarm going off in the background.
Well, I think it's because they know that we're in the bunker recording, and now they're trying to steal our car because they know we won't stop and won't go save our car.
So that's interesting. So the reason this is important is because there's a really cool story that comes out of I can't even handle it, dude.
Keep going.
And so there's a really cool story that comes out of this about a player who overcame adversity. We're all about motivation and continuing to find things that motivate us in life. So Shaquem Griffin is a linebacker for UCF. And he has a really cool story. He plays on the team with his twin brother.
Okay.
And so we're going to play a clip that ESPN did about his story.
And this will drown out everything in the background.
Yes.
Second down. Couple fakes by Ferguson. And Shelby fires the football. And it's picked up by UCF. Shaquem Griffin knocked it out.
I just knew my time was coming. Like I waited, and I stayed positive.
Shaquem Griffin just needed a shot.
This young man is a heck of a football player.
A chance to prove the doubters wrong.
I'm sure he has had a lot of people in his life tell him that football is not the right avenue to pursue. But if you want something bad enough, you can make it happen. And Shaquem's done that.
And when somebody tells me we can't do something, I guess we'll just show them.
From the very beginning, twins Shaquille and Shaquem Griffin were inseparable. Born 60 seconds apart, they are identical in every way but one.
When he brought him to me, I took the blanket off, and then that's what I saw. His hand.
Shaquem suffered from amniotic band syndrome. While in his mother's womb, a fibrous tissue got wrapped around his left wrist, cutting off the circulation to his hand.
It was like the 5 digits where they started to perform, but it just didn't happen. It was just like a rubber band that's tight on your hand for a long period of time and it stops the circulation. So he never had the growth of it.
With those little digits, every time he'll fall, he'll get a little cut or something between it, and it was hurting him so bad.
Painful. I mean, that is the pain that I can never forget.
He dealt with the pain until he was 4.
Yo,
Then,
this part is so wild.
Shaquem had had enough.
It was in the middle of the night when it happened.
I can still remember him yelling, and just crying and screaming.
So, of course, I get up and I run in there, and he's trying to grab a knife from out of the kitchen in the cabinet. And I was like, what you doing? What are you doing? He's like, I want to cut him off. I want a knife to cut him off. It hurts.
I was tired of pain. Only thing I can think is if I remove it, the pain will stop. If I get rid of these fingers, the pain will stop.
The very next day, Shaquem had surgery to remove his left hand. The Griffins knew almost immediately it was the right decision.
He learned how to tie his shoes before Shaquille. He was able to climb the tree before Shaquille. I try to button his shirt up. No. He pushes me away. I can do this.
As he got older, Shaquem's mom, dad, and brother encouraged him to pursue his athletic dreams.
Everything he wanted to do, it was like, well, we're going to test it out and try to find a way you can do it on your own. I test it out with one hand. If I can do it with one hand, you can do it.
Dang. What an awesome set of parents, dude.
But
That's
along
so
the
cool.
way, there were coaches who only saw an
He's
arm
doing
that
dips
ended
with
at the
no
wrist,
hand. I mean, that's wild
not
as
the
hell.
athlete it belonged to. Even at UCF, the program that recruited both twins, Shaquem saw the field just 3 times in his first 2 seasons.
He wanted to give up at times. He just felt like maybe it just wasn't meant to be. My main thing was being the protective brother I am, because you got to push through it. You can't control everything. Being a freshman, sophomore, I didn't really understand what that meant. As I got older, I was like, it's true. You can't control everything. Sometimes you have to let go and let the process play itself.
It wasn't until Scott Frost's staff took over and converted him to linebacker that Shaquem finally
Dude,
got
he's
his
murdering
shot.
people. Holy.
Last season, he tallied 11 sacks and was named the conference's Defensive Player of the Year.
That guy's fast.
He doesn't want
Defensive
to be seen
Player
as
of the
having a
Year.
disability.
Damn.
He just wants to go out and play football like everyone else.
No matter what happens, we down for each other. Hell yeah. Offense, defense, special teams, we bang. Hell yeah. Right.
And I feel like my purpose is to make a difference. Is to get rid of doubters. Somebody tell you can't play football, prove them wrong.
Damn. I love that. That was amazing.
People who just don't take no for an answer, man. I absolutely love it. And he had a great performance against Auburn in their bowl game, and it's an inspirational dude. It's just like it would be easy for him to say, "Oh, I have a disability," and live with that, but instead he's like, "No, this motivates me more." And I loved seeing the creative ways that he gets around, training and things like that. It seems like he has an awesome father who was trying to, create things for him.
Yeah.
It's just a really cool story. So for the season that UCF had, to have like a nice little highlight in there with somebody, I love seeing stuff like that, people overcoming adversity.
Yeah, that was cool as hell.
So let's go ahead and reel it in.
Let's get it.
We're gonna bring it back with our boy here.
Let's go.
I want them dead presidents. I want to pull up, head spin, get fly. I got 6 jobs, I don't get tired.
All right, so shout outs this week. My shout outs are for Amber Addison, Dan Hilton, Ray Hughes, and congratulations to my sister and her now fiance, Robert Blake. She got engaged on New Year's, so congratulations to her.
Muzzle tough.
Yeah, so fantastic. So thanks, you guys.
All right, I got Stu Diamond, Albert Houchins, Randy Dobson, Sarah Hasselbeck, and of course, say your prayers, eat your vitamins, and listen to RantWorthy podcast. See you guys next week.
Dive in the crowd, no safety holders. Got in the booth, no safety on it. I aim and I shoot for the stars. Got the award, I ain't win no awards. Only meaning one thing, don't get tired, I go hard. I was trying to get it how I live. I want them dead presidents. I want to pull up, head spin, get fly. I got 6 jobs, I don't get tired. I don't get tired. I don't get tired. I don't get tired. Get fly. I got 6 jobs, I don't get tired. Me and the woman I love on an air mattress. We share a car, my hair nappy. Couldn't afford flights, no air travel. Still Rice Krispies like sand gravel. Walking testament of what can happen the moment you follow your heart. Keeping the faith even when it get dark. They say give up as I tell them get lost. 6 weeks ago I just purchased a farm. Most likely the one that you cannot afford. Right foot on the gas. Balenciaga be accelerating. I'm doing the dance. Chick that I'm with, started be doing her shit. And it's okay to say that she bad. Look to the right and I give her a glance. gon' be no break. I was trying to get it how I live. I want them dead presidents. I wanna pull up, head spin, get it, get fly. I got 6 jobs, I don't get